Good morning, everyone. This is Jennifer Sanchez. You are watching the Wise Morning Coffee Chat Show. So excited this morning. We have an awesome guest this morning with our co-host. So who am I? First and foremost, my name is Jennifer Sanchez. I'm the founder of the Women's Institute of Self-Development Efficacy, WISE for short. I know that's super long, so that's why I just say call it WISE. What we do, we help women become unshakable, faith-filled, and purpose-driven through conferences, retreats, networking events, mentorship, coaching programs. So we provide this great community for women, and we're definitely super excited today because I know today's we have a different guest of the other I'm thinking human race. That's probably wrong, but it's
Other
early today,
spectrum.
right? The other side, right? But that's Kim. Go for it. Introduce yourself, and then we'll let LeBron introduce himself.
I understand what you're saying. We have somebody from the other spectrum today. We wanted to twist it a little bit, right, Jennifer? So my name is Kimberly Montesinos. I'm a mom of two adult children, Christian and Carla. I own a cleaning company, Crystal Clear Cleaning, in the northwest suburbs. I've in January that'll be 20 years. I'm also a Melaleuca rep because I love educating people on how to shop at a store that's equivalent to Costco or Sam's, but all non-toxic products made in the U.S. And recently, I got my certification as a life coach. So pretty busy. But I love not only my coffee, but I love Coffee Chat because it just really is a great way to start our week.
Yes, awesome. Thank you, Kim. And Ron, can you introduce yourself to the viewers?
Yes, my name is Ron Martinez. I'm part owner of a company called Chatavise. And I've been with that company, and part of getting out of the rat race is actually that story. I actually worked for the company for 2 years with zero pay, literally out of just like giving advice and helping out my friend. And then May of this year is when we really turned it up because I knew he got for real after one decision that he made. I already knew it was time to go. And May 2023 is when we made it official. But my story is one that I feel like people can replicate. I think it's one that if you follow a few good steps, it will help. And normally I'm behind the scenes kind of thing. Even as the COO, my role tends to be behind the scenes, but that COO role is an often misunderstood one. And I would love to talk more about that because that could be the role that helps take your business to the next level. But I'm here in service. So wherever the conversation goes, that's wherever my words will guide us.
Wonderful. That's awesome. Well, let's go into it. For those that are watching, you guys know it's an interactive show. Feel free to conversate, chime in, ask questions. So we always go into this coffee time segment of our show because I'm a believer that you get to know someone's personality or once when you hear what they're drinking, it's kind of like it gives you an idea of the type of person that they are, right? So, Kim, what are you drinking this morning?
Honestly, I'm super dehydrated this morning. So I'm just drinking water.
Just
But I'm drinking it in my favorite um, multicultural cup that I have because I love inclusivity with women. You know that. So I'm just drinking water. I'm just keeping it real this morning. I'm totally dehydrated.
Oh, okay. That's funny. Oh, what about you, Ron? What are you drinking this morning?
A friend of mine said, "You're gonna have to make an exception and drink coffee this morning." I was like, "I haven't drank coffee since like 2013, and I'm actually drinking water, and I drink it specifically from a cup like this because I know 5 of these will get me to the goal that I need."
Okay.
And on the energy front, actually, someone people ask me a lot of times, how do you get all that energy? And the truth is, it's because I'm doing things that's aligned with my goals. So I already like wake up ready to go. Usually I wake up too early. I'm like, oh man, I need to go back to bed. But I am drinking water. And thank you, Kim, for not making me the only one.
Yeah.
Normally I drink coffee. That's so crazy.
Yeah, well, I'm doing, and that's interesting. What you said, Ron, right now, especially with the whole idea of like drinking. I have the same strategy. I have this big container, and if I drink two of those, I know I meet my goal for water, right? So that's pretty good. That's pretty cool. So me, I'm drinking my mushroom coffee this morning. I am trying to get away from coffee. I failed this weekend though. I haven't drank so and Kim knows we revolve everything around coffee. Like
Yeah.
I can eat breakfast for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Like that's just like I love breakfast. I love coffee. I love getting together, getting coffee with somebody. Right, that's always been my thing. But lately, it's like no, I want to get away from coffee. I think coffee has been, now that I'm getting older, it's like it's not helping me as much as before. Right. I just feel like it just causes a lot of inflammation in my body. So I've been doing mushroom coffee. I've been doing mushroom coffee lately, and it's not the best taste. It's not the best, but at the end of the day, it's something. It's that rice coffee that I've been doing. I've been seeing great results from it, so I'm happy. I'm happy. That's what I'm doing
Good.
this morning.
It's doing the things that you don't want to do early in the morning that makes everything easier too. You know,
Mhm.
I noticed that. So if you're drinking something that's not like the best, well, guess what? Everything that you drink after that is going to be amazing. Water will be amazing. So,
Yeah. Well, absolutely. Water will be fantastic. So, and something that just triggered my thought right now because we're going to talk about alignment, and I think this is going to be a great conversation. I was watching this video, right, and someone that's very disciplined, right? Let's just say like someone that goes to the gym a lot, right?
Hmm.
And you see them fit, right? You see the way that they walk, you see that they look healthy, you see that they look vital, right? Whatever word we want to use. Usually people will tend to say that person's a disciplined person, right? Or that person obviously has qualities that they will get something done. And the guy in the video was like, let me look at your hand. And he wanted to see his hand. He wanted to see the calluses from like the weightlifting, right? So it's
right,
just like, I could tell that you are a person that keeps your word, that's disciplined, so with right now with what you were saying, Ron, it kind of triggered that thought to that video, like just being disciplined, waking up, making sure you get your water or your exercise, do the things that you don't want to do because it's about, the end goal.
right. Yep. And it's also being like this is real life, right? There's so many variables to it. So you can have someone that goes to the gym really dedicate. They go 4 or 5 times a week. They after the gym or before the gym, they're doing the right things to get the most out of that gym session, right? But they may be very rich or wealthy in that side, in that one scorecard metric, right? Their health. But then they may be very weak in other things, right? Personal relationships, forming new business connections, going on other like exceeding in things that they are dreaming about, right? Is it only something that you're dreaming about when your head hits the pillow, or is it when you're in the shower, you're thinking about what your life could be? You may be very poor in those other things. So I just look at discipline as being disciplined in multiple things, things that add value. It's almost like a deposit into a savings account, you know, kind of thing. So I always relate it to some kind of number just because it's a little bit more measurable. So I talk in that way as well. I'm like, oh, this is a deposit into my future. So
I could see that. You're a numbers guy, right? I'm assuming. So, I mean, I could see why you would need it to work that way for it to make sense for you. Well,
yeah.
that's great, Kim. So, I know we want to talk about alignment. I'm pretty sure we can flow right into that conversation. You guys had a very interesting conversation, right, in regards to that. And that's what sparked this whole, session right now.
Yeah, I met Ron M at the business summit, and we had the honor of at the gala sitting at the table together. And interesting enough, Mark, my honey, he had a great conversation with Ron. And he came home, and the next morning he was raving about Ron. And I remember, meeting Ron, and I loved his energy. I'm a real big person, like with energy. And I met him, and his energy was just like, God, this guy just seems like a real happy, positive person. And then we set up a one-on-one because I was going to join another company, um, that helps with your business and reviews and how to communicate and with faster with your potential clients and current clients. And I always believe God brings the people in your life that you need. And I was going to actually sign up with that company that Monday. And as you know, Jennifer, because you were at the summit, um, I talked to Ron briefly that Saturday, and he was in the same field. So I put a hold on that company because I wanted to hear what he had to say. And the conversation, the one-on-one, although I learned what he had to say and it was amazing, that wasn't what captivated me. What captivated me was his attitude and how he goes about, not just in business, but how he aligns all the things he was talking about, like his personal life, his goals. Um, and this word alignment kept coming up in our conversation because I was saying to him, being older, like younger, when I was his age, I got out of the whole perfection thing because I grew up, you want to be perfect, and I wanted to be excellent. And then he brought in alignment. And I thought, wow, that is perfect. So I found myself in our conversation having a lot of aha moments. And
Mm.
I know that our women in our community, or women abroad, or men as well, but we need those aha moments of where we have to sit and think about, what is it really that my goal, why do I have this goal set? Am I aligned with this goal? Even, me, I'm always talking about, I love networking, but am I aligned with who I want to meet every time I walk in that room? And am I aligned of being open to meeting the new people that can even get me to my goal or enhance my life, not just in my business? So not only did I felt like Ron, yeah, can he enhance my business? Absolutely. But he also enhanced my life of opening my mind to other things. And I rather that he go ahead and lay that out because it was amazing. And so I had to share it with Jennifer. I was like, oh my God, Jennifer, I got somebody for you. It's a little different. He's a little different. But I just wanted you to come and bring that to the community.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, I think alignment, that is critical, and I could see why that would be a really important conversation, because if we're not aligned with our purpose, and I'm assuming, right, it's around purpose and
Yeah.
passion and um whatever you call, like, whatever you feel like God has called you to do. I don't know, for the faith-based and non-faith-based, like, you feel like there's a calling in your life. What happens, or when you're not aligned, right? Like, how, what, as an entrepreneur or career professional, what are the things that you see when you're not aligned with what that is?
The wheels feel like they're coming off of the wagon. That's what
Mm,
happens when you're out of alignment, right?
mhm.
Um, yeah, I'll do it in an unobvious one, but with spending, like if you're not spent, like people don't know how to spend money.
Mm,
They're not spending money based off their value system. Therefore, they're
mm.
out of alignment. So if you're spending money buying things that you don't really value, like, and the way you know you don't value it is that after you bought it, you don't even remember like why you bought it, right?
Oh,
You
wow.
don't use it as much,
Okay.
right? All those kind of things. It's like little signs there. And so if you start seeing your habits through your that alignment chart, you start going, things start making sense why you feel a certain way, you know?
Mm.
Mm,
Um,
so when we buy that fast food and we're not aligned, right?
there you go. There you go, right?
Oh my
Uh,
God, Jennifer, I thought about when I'm depressed or if I have a bad day, I'm really bad about going out and, buying an outfit or a sweater. I think
Mm,
women do that. We go what we call
yeah,
therapy shopping,
yeah.
but is that aligned? That's why, you're laughing. I'm laughing about, for me, it would be going to get that sweater. I really didn't need it. I could have put that money toward my goal, my financial goal.
That makes
Yeah,
sense. That
and what
makes
matters like more to you, right? Like 6 months from now is that one thing that you did. And I'm going to talk in general terms just so that people can start going like, oh yeah, yeah, you know? And by the way, I'm
Mhm.
not perfect either. Like I think in that I'll buy something. I'm like, why did I just do that? You know? And then I'm too prideful to go back there and be like, yeah, I don't need this anymore. Here you go, take it back. you know. But yeah, so I mean, it's not meant to be perfect, just more to be more like incrementally, are you doing things that's more aligned with your goal 6 months from now, a year from now, 5 years from now, and then you start making progress and you start stacking those little wins up. You'll get closer and closer to your goal, and you'll start feeling better and better and better. You'll need less and less things to help you get, to that state that you want. And usually, because you're not taking shortcuts, that feeling of like alignment and happiness and all that is more permanent, because it's not being
Mm.
by something that is temporary.
Yeah,
Wow.
I could
Wow.
see that, and I like the analogy, right, of like what you spend your money on, because I'm a big believer of what you put your money towards or to is where your heart is, right? That's where
Mhm.
you, right, where you're investing in. So like I don't think I struggle with like shop therapy. Actually, I hate stores personally. Like I despise going to the store as much as possible because I feel like I could do more productive things with my life. But I still need to go shopping, right? There's still things that need to get bought. So I could see the strategy. I know for me, it's more of like the food. That's where it's like, oh, I want to go out to eat. I don't want to cook, but now lately I've been like, it's an experience, you guys. I'm just trying to experience, a meal. I'm trying to experience, Um, but even then, I think like I can totally resonate with what you're saying because I don't feel bad when I buy food. Not at least because I'm usually buying healthy food as is. I don't feel bad when I spend money on my personal trainer or any health. Like the mushroom coffee that I bought, that was a $30 bag of mushroom coffee. That's only gonna last me 3 weeks maybe. I don't feel bad about it though. I know for someone
Mhm.
else they'll be like, "Oh my god, $30 mushroom bag." Like, look, it's for my health. Like at the end of the day, I feel like
Mhm.
I'm justifying it, right? So
Right.
I could see where this is coming. Like I could see it.
And it's not about like pinching pennies, saving $10 Thomas Jefferson bills, like it's not, or whatever the president is on the bill. I think that's probably a $20 bill.
I don't
But
know.
like
Don't ask me
it's not
that.
about that. It's about getting rid of the weight, because all those little things add up, you know?
Sure,
And
absolutely.
when you free up that weight, then now you start seeing the room more clearly. So like, we all have two eyes, right? We scope the room. That's data that you just intook, right? But
Mm,
if you're so bogged down with all these other things that's holding you down, you won't be able to recall everything that you saw. That means that one smile and that person that was smiling in the corner because someone said something, that could be a conversation starter,
mhm,
Mhm.
right? The
Mhm. Mhm.
one tear that you see someone because someone said something that triggers something is like, oh, I can go ask if they're okay, right?
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
when you're free like that, you just start seeing opportunities. You just start seeing things that you can problems that you can solve for people. You start seeing those things. With
Mhm.
conversation with Chat Advise, we barely talked about Chat Advise because I'm a relationship kind of guy. I saw another like thing that was more important at that moment. We can always reschedule later. It's not a
Right.
life or death thing. And I know that whenever I look at it this way, I want to slow down the world so that I can keep moving at my pace. And I start missing
Mm.
less opportunities. Therefore, I'm able to make bigger hits whenever I do hit something, out of the ballpark. Right. That's how I tend to land a little bit bigger clients just by accident. It looks
Mhm.
like it's by
Mhm.
accident, but it's just because I slowed down the environment around me so that I can appreciate that time, you know?
Wow.
mhm,
And
So
that's exactly what happened, Jennifer. We got on a call. I was excited because I remembered him from the summit. And then when we got on the call, we actually like threw in the business part at the end because we were trying to like, oh, we were supposed to talk about me doing like I need more information about my business.
Oh
And that
wow.
does happen to me. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, Ron. That does happen to me because I'm a relationship builder. I love building relationships with people. But it's hard to like really wow me. And I don't mean that in any disrespect. Usually when I listen to somebody, I'm like, oh, I'm conversational with them. I love takeaways. You always get a takeaway from somebody. But when you're wowed by somebody and you go, that's a great way of rethinking or thinking about something. And I love that slowing the pace because I know for me, I'm always going. And I would, I say I want to slow the pace, but because of relationships need nurturing. So
Mm,
you were nurturing that first time relationship building that we were doing by really listening and then bringing, like, you were building off of the conversation. And so it became increasingly interesting and we lost track of time. And that's when you know, like, wow, this one on one or this coffee one on one or this getting to know you meeting was like well over what you expected, right? And we all love those moments, and that's why I immediately thought, I go into when I meet people like that, who can I introduce them to? Who needs that? And I know Jennifer loves to bring value to her community, right? And so I thought this is valuable. Forgot about other things, but I was just like, this is some valuable conversation. And I know Jennifer loves uh talking about like what's important in your life. How do you want to attain your goals?
Yeah.
And some great tools on how to do that.
No, yeah, absolutely. I think one of the biggest things that our community is really big on, or at least I try to instill that in the community, is having a vision, right?
Yeah.
Because if we don't have a vision, we shall perish, right? So me saying have a vision, have a purpose, figure out what you're trying to do with yourself, and then from there actually put a strategic plan together, put the steps together, get some accountability, right? Because you could have goals all day, but if you don't have no accountability, it doesn't mean that you're going to get them done,
Right,
right?
right.
I mean,
Mhm.
the likelihood is a lot slimmer, right? Chances. So um, even having the conversation of alignment, because there's going to be times that you're going to get thrown off track, and how do you make sure you stay aligned and stay on that purpose and stay on that path?
Yeah, and you said something that everyone talks about, right? Vision, right? Well, if you don't envision your life running at 100 miles an hour 5 years from now, why are you doing it now? Every day. You're again, the wheels are gonna fall off eventually. And don't mistake him moving slow for being lazy or not being
Mm,
someone that can get something done,
mhm,
quickly. Another company that I own is a media company.
mm,
I spent when I left the bank in April of 2021, I spent 16 hours a day for the first 6 months learning how to edit videos, learning how to not use
yeah,
Photoshop. It's called Pixelmator. So Pixelmator, Apple Motion, Final Cut Pro. I learned those things because I was the least had the least learning curve, but was still a very powerful tool.
sure.
After that time of spending those hours doing that, I hired a company that would try to edit the same quality that I had to do, and I still had to give them the assets. I was removing backgrounds, I was sending them the pictures, the video clips, all that kind of stuff for the videos. I was building my team on the side. Now I have three video editors, three graphic designers, two script writers, audio engineer, and now I spend 3 hours, if that, a month on that YouTube channel you know
Mm,
so it's a sprint sometimes where it's like, oh yeah, he's very like laser focused on this thing, but
Mhm.
with the intention of being able to go, okay, I learned that fast. What would have took someone maybe 3 years to learn, I could have learned it in 6 months. Start plugging in people. I interview like 40 video editors from Upwork, Fiverr, all those things, to start forming a little team you know I took one from a large YouTube channel, which will be unnamed, and I was like, well, how much are they paying you? Double it, come on board you know
mm,
so
mm,
like little things like that you got to know when to put your foot to the put your foot to the pedal to the metal kind of thing, and go.
yeah, yeah,
And everyone's life is different. You got to know when some people might have to sprint more in the beginning, than someone else. It's not a equal, everyone starts from zero kind of thing. But knowing your vision, okay, what I'm doing right now is not what I'm gonna do 6 months from now. I'm gonna need to slow it down so that I can not go back, retrace, and get some opportunities that I may have missed along the way, kind of thing.
yeah.
So
That's good. That's it. Let me share. I know Marta's over here. Um, she wrote, "When I start eating too much spicy food." I'm assuming that has to do with the when we were spending money conversation. The goal is for your tangent line to increase. The idea is small incremental growth led to the right direction to your purpose equals alignment. Thank you for sharing that, Marta. Um, I think this is awesome conversation. I really appreciate Ron you being on here, and I can appreciate slowing down though. in the sense of just because we slow down doesn't mean that we're not strategic and we're not, goal oriented. I think
Mhm.
when you're saying slowing down is enjoying the moment, being present, right? And I think as entrepreneurs, and I know at least at one point I was not present and I was just go, 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 do, versus like, let me enjoy this conversation right now. Well, like when I'm doing this, I want to be present in this moment right now, right? Versus, you, one of the biggest things that I have, and it's my pet peeve, I do, and I'm a say right now. So if anyone's listening to me now, I hate seeing the phone on the table at like a business meeting or conversation or like, because then that tells me that you're not present with me,
Yeah.
right?
All right.
Because you're waiting for a phone call, you're waiting for a text message. Like my time is not valuable. Like for me, if no one's ever noticed, I always I hide my phone. I put it under my leg or I put it in my bag. I'll keep it, but I don't want it to be visible because I never want to give the impression to the other person that I'm not paying attention to you or savoring this moment with you, whatever in whatever case might be, right? So I think being present, that if I'm following what you're saying, Ron, I feel like that's what I'm picking up with what you're laying down, right? Like it's slowing down doesn't mean that you're not goal oriented. It's just being present in the moment, being there, enjoying the experience, enjoying the conversation you and Kim had together, right? That you guys lost track of time. Those are my favorite. The losing track of time
Yeah.
moments. Oh God, those are so much fun.
Yeah, the
They
food thing, like,
are.
someone told me the other day, it's like, "You eat so slow." I was like, "I'm enjoying my food.
Oh,
That's why I don't have to eat as much. If you eat fast, you'll eat the whole thing, you know, because 'Cause you're
yes.
just going, going,
Mhm.
going, but if you enjoy it, you probably realize, "Oh, I'm actually full with half of this. I can take the other half
Yes.
home." Boom, you just saved money again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, right? And you're supposed to eat
You
slow.
are.
That's something that
Yes.
yeah, you're not supposed to eat
Yeah,
fast.
but just enjoying every moment, like, makes things so much better, and you tend to remember things more, and when you remember things more, people feel like you care more too, right? And it's because you're doing things to actually care by showing that you remember whatever they were telling you, right?
Sure,
So,
sure.
yeah, maybe that's
All
for
right.
today, slow it
It's slow. Slow it down.
when you can, when you get the opportunity.
So, Ron, if someone wants to reach out to you and have a conversation with you in regards to, the services that you offer, even though I know we didn't go a lot into it, where can they find you?
I was not a big social media guy, to be honest. If you see things on there, it's just like my like very generic stuff. But LinkedIn is where I've really been turning it up more.
Okay.
LinkedIn, and I don't know if there's a way to share a link. I could probably pull it up.
Yeah, yeah. You can actually pop it in here, and then I'll put it on the comment section. So I know it's Ron Martinez. They can Google you and find you as Ron Martinez on social
Yeah,
media.
if you Google it for sure, it'll come up. Someone told me you should Google
Okay.
yourself and see what's there, and I was like, okay. And then LinkedIn was one of the first things that came up.
Oh, beautiful. Okay, awesome. So for those, find him on LinkedIn. I'm putting it here as well as a caption. So linkedin.com/Ron Martinez II. So thank you so much for this conversation, guys. I think this was definitely an inspirational conversation, right? Definitely influential, right? And I hope whoever listened, watched the replay, you guys benefit from it and continue to start implementing being aligned and slowing it down.
Thank you so much for having me. I
Oh,
didn't know
thank
I was
you.
an exception until like moments of joining. So,
Yeah, you're an exception, but it's okay. It's okay. I mean, we love men. I mean,
Right.
right? We love men. We're not men haters or men bashers or right. Like especially like I love men, and that sounds awkward, but let me take that back,
but it
right?
shouldn't it
But
shouldn't be, right? Like, I love women, I love men too, like,
that's
we love each
normal,
other, you know?
right? We love each other.
Right.
We love the human race, but we do like to highlight women because of the whole idea of like there's plenty of stuff for you guys out there. Like that's kind of like my philosophy. You guys have a lot of opportunity, and I think highlighting women in a show is different. But for this, in this case, it makes total sense why Kim wanted you to come on and talk about your conversation because it does. It's thought provoking, right?
Yes, it's thought provoking. Absolutely. Well,
Okay.
have a great week, guys.
Thank you guys. Have a
All
good
right.
week. Have a
Bye
good one.
bye.
Thanks for watching.